Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the HappyCast. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew, as always, joined by the lovely and incomparable Stephanie Stonebreaker.
That's right. It's changed so many times. We don't know.
Well, especially now, I'm struggling a bit. As always, Dylan is not here to join us. We're not entirely sure why he's not with us this time, but rumor has it that he may or may not have started an illegal gambling ring and or an underground fight club. We're not entirely sure which one, but if it is the latter, rumor has it that instead of targeting financial institutions, they are targeting local Chipotles for their serving portions. So, hearsay, we don't want to start some drama, but Dylan, be safe yet again, man. We don't want another disaster that I had recently. So, you're a married man now. So, best of luck to you out there, Dylan, wherever the hell you are. Godspeed, my friend. But we are excited, and this is kind of a spur of the moment episode. Had us scrambling, which isn't always the case, but we are joined by the one and only Elliott Waldock. Welcome, Elliott. How are you doing?
Doing good, man.
Yeah, he's been so gracious to join us right after finishing the Summit 200. So this just finished not that long ago, and so all these people that currently did this race are either still delirious out of it, or you could be Elliott, who looks fresh as a daisy and looks like he could probably run Bigfoot this week. But yeah, this also this edition of the Summit 200 also continues our streak of striking out with sponsoring runners who are supposed to run races. They either do not finish or do not show up.
No.
Yeah, the 2 years in a row. Well, I mean, he had a good reason. One of the runners that won our raffle couldn't make it last year due to injury and did not show up this year. But because of that, we're gonna raffle harder. So be on the lookout as we do some housekeeping here.
This is embarrassing. People should not go for our raffles because
we're gonna give away more races.
We pay for it.
We're gonna give away a lot more races now.
Let me see that money.
And as always, and for those watching on YouTube, this is a throwback. It's been a while. I'm drinking wine because I have to do wine reviews as I'm doing this episode, so it'll be a little unhinged. Last time I did this, episode 3 or 4, I literally broke my ribs on the podcast live. I'm sure we can pull up clips of that and throw it out there. So this is...
it's like you went down on the video.
It was insane. I love it. Some of my best footage ever. So I'm a little out of it at the moment, but for all the best reasons, because I can only imagine, Elliott, you are just as out of it. Freshly removed from this race. So first and foremost, before we get into it, Elliott, let's talk about these assortment of living things that have been entering your lap in the past few minutes. I saw a cat, and now it appears to be a dog.
It's the same cat. He's
huge.
Yeah,
he's a huge cat.
Yeah, he's dog sized. Hang on, I'll get him again.
That is a monster.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
My God.
Yeah, that's Gandalf.
Of course. You are definitely not passing anything he tells you not to pass.
No, if he doesn't want you to. But
Balrog my ass, dude.
Yeah, no, he's just kind of in my zone, but he's got his own chair, so he can just chill right next to me.
Down in the pit you go. So, we did a episode last year for those that want to check it out on the Summit 200. Last year was the inaugural year with Chase and Casey Hammond as race directors for Ultraverse Supplements. We had them on discussing the race, and we did one with Walter Handloser, who ran the race and finished it last year. So quite a bit of coverage. This is the second year of the race. Kind of filling that void currently in the summer where there's not really anything in July as far as the 200 scene that has been growing.
I want to hear about the weather. What was the weather like?
We could start there.
That's an interesting place to start, but let's do it.
It was The first race that I've ever done where I actually thought that the required kit was like solid, where I don't really get cold at races, so they always want you to have like a base layer, insulatory layer, rain jacket, gloves, hat, pants, all that stuff. And I've still never worn pants at any race, but this one I actually did have, my base layer and insulatory and rain jacket slash windbreaker on all at the same time, and that's never happened to me before. So it was actually cold. When it rained, it was just like ice water spraying you because you're up at 12,000 feet or whatever, and the storm would come out of nowhere. So I'm just wearing like the sun shirt, and then it goes from feeling like it's 140 degrees because you're like next to the sun at 12,000 feet, and then 3 seconds later there's lightning, and then it's hailing, and then raining, and then you're wet and cold. So you go from being like the hottest that I've ever felt, or like damn near the hottest I've ever felt during a race, to very cold very quickly. So yeah, it rained every day. I think every day that I was out there, it rained. Got hailed on twice. There was a lot of thunder and lightning. Happened to like time it really well to where I was just about done with some of the exposure parts. You're at 12x for however many miles on some of those sections, but I was getting towards the end of it and starting to hit the downhill portion of it when the bad stuff was rolling in. So that happened to me like twice, where I was like, oh well, cool, at least I'm a mile from tree line instead of like 4. So that was cool. But yeah, it got cold and it got really hot. I think on that last morning coming down into Breckenridge, there was frost on the ground. So I mean, it had gotten to slightly below freezing on that night, and that was the coldest night for me. And that's partly you're malnourished and you've been awake for a couple days, so your thermal regulation or whatever, my body can't figure out what it wants to do, be really hot or be really cold. So it just felt cold to me, and it was cold. But I had my buddy Harrison pacing me on the last 2 sections, so that's like 40-ish miles. And he was cold too, and he was fresh, so that was it made me believe that like, okay, it's actually cold. But then by the time we were on the other side of Breckenridge headed towards that last aid station, it was hot as hell, and I was wishing it wasn't sunny and it was dark again. But yeah, the weather was legit. So I would say if you were going to do this race next year, like actually take it seriously, because I guess if somebody like me says that it gets cold, like you can take it to heart that it actually does get cold. So yeah,
this was such an important year for this race too, with the impending potential Colorado 200 miler by Destination Trail potentially coming out next year, although
yeah,
that's still a little iffy. So this was important to like establish themselves as like, this is their first attempt at a mountainous 200. They've done Cowboy and they tried to do Katy, but other stuff, flat. So this was their, let's see how they took the response from last year and how they could improve it this year. So this is an important year for this race. But you know what? Just like the temperature extremes where it can go from the highs and lows, where it can just go up and down, we're going to go up and down to your life, my friend. We got to learn more about you. This is your first time on this podcast. This is a brand new segment I like to call Instagram stalking while drinking wine. So I'm on your Instagram right now. I'm going to just, Stephanie, stop it. You mute yourself right now, or help me God.
I'll interject. Let me tell
I'm going
a
to
story.
just close my eyes and then just randomly pick on. I'm scrolling and I'm going to. All right, Elliott, you did Brazos Bend 100. Wow, you did Brazos Bend 100
That's
in 2000.
What you want to talk about?
2021. Let's talk about that. Elliott, Brazos Bend 2021. What made you want to do this race?
that was my first 100.
Holy cow! What a fortuitous occurrence, Stephanie.
Nice
That
pull.
just would have never. Wow, a random pull. You saw me just randomly scroll. Like, listen, I'm in my robe and I'm wearing a giraffe tie, drinking wine. Merlot, by the way, which I'm gonna rate and review at the end of this because I have like 11 more bottles to do. But like, yeah, what great timing, Elliot. Let's talk about your inaugural 100-mile race that I just happened to land on, without any previous knowledge of.
Sure. Yeah. That was my first one. I could talk a lot of trash about Spring Energy because
Go ahead.
that's what I was fueling with at the time, and everything was great till like 100K in, and then the wheels fell off the wagon, and I felt like shit for the rest of the race, and that's maybe because the only thing I ate the entire time was just spring gels. Like I didn't eat any food at the aid station the entire time. It was just drop bags with boxes of spring, and I'm like, not,
What a bold move.
yeah, just didn't, I didn't have any GI issues. It was just under fueled, like, by half. So, cause it was the big offenders, I think it was awesome sauce and canterbury were the two flavors that I was exclusively using. So, yeah, I think they're like still up high on my frequently purchased thing on the feed. When you go back to like buy it again, they're still unfortunately like up there in the top 5 or whatever. So that's kind of shitty. But yeah, no, Trot I think put that on then, and yeah, it was a really good race. The gator stuff was cool. The humidity was terrible. But yeah, that was my first 100, and I finished it, and then just kind of we've been rolling since then. So I've done a handful of 100 since then, and I guess Summit would have been my fourth 200. So
Now, Elliot, where do
Before
you?
we go into the hundreds, Andrew, I want to tell the story of how we know him.
Okay, and I already
Okay.
know, and I was going to lead to that, but before we go
No,
into that,
I want to
Elliot,
lead
where
with
do you
it.
currently reside? Stephanie, I don't want to fight with you, but by God, I will fucking slap somebody right now. Let's go. Verbally, that is. We haven't fought in a while, okay? So I'm ready to fight. But before we do that, Elliot, where are you from? Where do you
uh,
live right now?
from and live, same thing. Partial North Dakota, so like
Yeah, I
western
have
North Dakota.
just because it's amazing how just like you do these things that we've been like in Texas. I don't know what's bringing you to Texas, but let's talk about it. Stephanie, you can go ahead with your question. Stephanie?
I'm not gonna let you tell me when I can and cannot talk. I just got divorced. I don't have anyone to tell me what to do.
Whoa.
What about the dog?
Wow. That's
Yeah, but she's different. She's female.
Oh, okay.
I just want to put it in perspective because I know what you're about to say because I just found out how we know him. So I'm just like, what's bringing
Okay,
you down
so
here? So
we're gonna go back to Possum's Revenge 69 miler, where Mo and I ran the whole race together and had this amazing race. I had a goal, he had no goal. He stuck with me, and then at the end, he's way faster than me. So at the end, he takes off sprinting. Like we're doing like I want to say like a 9:15 pace, 18 hours into this race, and like I am ready to puke. And you come up from behind us and you sprint in. And as soon as I saw it was a guy, and I remember, I even told Mo, I said, I'm going to puke. And he goes, puke later. And like kept going. So your finish time is seconds. You beat me, but it didn't matter because I was like, that's a male. But you did not take Mo. So you were like seconds behind Mo, seconds in front of me. And I just think that's so crazy. I texted him and I was like, you are never going to believe who we have on the podcast.
so
And I said, so I don't remember seeing your face, but Mo
Yeah,
sent
it
me
was
a video.
dark. It was the middle of the night. Like I don't.
Right, like I have no idea.
Yeah, no,
did
I
you
wouldn't
even
have
know
known either.
this? Were you aware of this until right
He
now, Elliot?
he
No,
remembers the story. He was there for it.
yeah, no. I recall the whole story. It was like, yeah, that race was was really fun, and it was also very rough. But I just remember just being kind of like a dog seeing a car drive by or something. Like you kind of come down that little. It's like the little dip out of the trail, and then you kind of hit like the parking lot type thing, and then I just saw like a couple headlights or waist lights or whatever just going running, and I'm like, oh sweet, like let's just run it in then, and then we just all took off running, and yeah, that was it was really fun though.
And one of our pacers was like, I peed my pants. And she was like trying to keep up with us. Like it was a full on sprint.
Yeah, no, that was like that. I was all out. Like that was everything I had left there at the end for sure.
So what's bringing you down here to Texas, man? Between that and Brazos has been, I understand, because it's kind of like a mainstay and it's a qualifier, but Possum's Revenge is kind of a random one. Was there any and all in the same year too?
The buckle.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just thought that was a really cool buckle, and that was kind of part of the part of the build, I guess. Like that was my 100K distance ish thing to try to like build up to the 100 miler, and yeah, I guess I don't know. I just kind of landed on that one. It looked fun, and Texas is cool. I like Texas, so yeah, that's just kind of how it worked out. Like I don't even know, is that still a race? Does that still race still happen?
It's owned by Blaze now, and they don't do the colorful buckles. They're more like, but they still have some leftovers, I
Wait,
think.
they took away the Possum's buckle?
Well, they have their own buckle for that race.
I'm Googling it now.
Because
Fact check this.
because I thought they changed it a couple times, didn't they? Because they had the one like it was like the possum riding something different.
So the year we did it, it was the possum riding. Was it?
I think it was sharks.
llama or
I
shark?
think it
Oh my
was.
God, Andrew, you were there too.
Yeah,
I
we all did it the
forgot.
same year. I had the worst race of my goddamn life. I was 4 hours behind
Okay,
you
wait.
guys. We all met or we all
I
ran into
cannot
each other at
believe
some
I
point.
forgot that. And Dylan ran it, didn't he?
Dude, this was like our big this is our first major past 100K
Wait,
race
this
as
was
Happy
at the
Endings.
very beginning of like happy endings, okay?
Yeah.
And we all shared a room together. And
It was great.
Not a room, Airbnb.
Yeah,
It was an
my
Airbnb.
yeah, my Airbnb was awesome. That was like the coolest one that I've ever had. It was in a dude's barn. Like you drove
Wow.
you just drove your car into like the lean-to next to the barn, and you were in like his horse tack room with like the saddles and all that stuff, and it was just like a bed and a window AC unit, and I don't think there was like anything in it. It was literally just like a bed with AC. It was the most comfortable bed that I've ever slept in after the race. It was awesome. But and you were able to just drive your car into the barn, so I was 2 feet away from the door to go to bed after the race. But yeah, that was another little like cool carrot of that race, just a random dude's ranch that we stayed at. But yeah,
Well, we were getting to know each other. Ours was a little tiny home, and I go to the bathroom a lot. And I woke up and in the middle of the night, and Andrew's like snacking in the kitchen. Do you remember this?
I remember waking up at the middle of the mini fridge.
I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Liesel gave me a bunch of zebra cakes. Which, by the way, shout out to Liesel. Like, may you drink every beer out there and recover well after never summer 100K. You're a hero to everyone. But yeah, she makes these vegan treats, and I just ate them all up, and I just couldn't. Like, that was the worst race. That's one of the races I'll never do again. I just don't know why. It's just like.
And then the next morning, I was like, okay, I'm going to get up and go. And Andrew thought I was kicking everybody out, and he made everybody leave. And I was, am I making this story up?
I don't remember.
Like,
I'm gonna believe you, especially now. I'm
And I was
inebriated.
like, I never said that.
We're not
It was
doing
like,
that.
unless it was a different 100K that we did somewhere else.
We did
I
Brad.
think that-
No, that's the
We
only
did
one we had a
Brazos Bend at
huge.
SF&I.
But
That
we
was the
weren't.
Airbnb.
But that's because the Becks gave us me and Dylan a hotel room after it rained. But like, yeah.
Did they?
So that's so cool. I also looked this up like after we asked you. It's like, holy shit, we were all at the same race.
that's crazy.
It was all our longest distance at the time.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's-
curious what your finish time is. Let's go ahead and look that up.
who are you talking to? Mine's like
Andrew,
20.
let's
Mine's 21 hours, so you can stop right
Oh.
there before. Yeah, I sprained my ankle and thought I was gonna die. So, but you know what? This isn't about me and being slower than both of you. It's about our Elliott, who apparently we've known for some time without knowing.
Like
Yeah,
we have stories that we
unknowingly.
told. I have a video on my phone of your finish. Like,
Yeah, because I don't have a video because I had my buddy Harrison. He was at that one too, and he was pacing me on that last lap, and I think his phone died or something when we were running it in. So yeah, there was no video proof of the race except for what you have.
So Elliot, I associate with you with some good time. I finished that race. It was good. So it was still a good race, even though I hated it. But also, just the worst experience of my life was Tahoe 200 last year, which I don't know what happened to me. But I remember seeing you out there a few times. You were a little bit ahead of me. But you've done quite a few 200s. You before doing the summit. You did. I believe I saw you out at Cocodona.
Yeah,
This year.
I think last year too. I think we crossed paths. You were at Crown King, I think.
Oh yeah, that was awesome when that trailer just trapped everyone up there
Yeah,
and
yeah,
no hope.
yeah. No, I got the text picture. Like, hopefully we'll be there at Whiskey Row, but no promises because yeah, there was that
Honestly,
RV was wedged on that little single track road.
there's worse places to be stuck. I mean, a saloon. Oh God, someone please save me. All this alcohol around me. What am I gonna do? Just like, it was annoying though, especially like. But yeah, you done that the past 2 years.
Yep.
Tahoe, I remember seeing you a bit, and where else did I see you? Did I see you elsewhere? Were you at Monster this year? Wait,
No.
no, you weren't. Okay, all right, those races. All right, that's why because it's like right after Monster. Okay.
Yeah.
But you've also done some difficult 100 milers, like outlaw, like like one that's like off, not on people's radar, the Outlaw 100, which is well known here in Texas. Being a very difficult 100-mile race. And then you did Crazy Mountain and whatnot. So you've exponentially, just like some of us, I kind of feel like we all kind of started around the same time as far as the same distance, and we've all exploded in our own way. I've kind of just stuck only to 200. Stephanie is doing a 100-miler in every state right now. Um, and then you're kind of doing a little bit of both. So you're finding that balance. So you are now an athlete for Speedland and Ultra Aspire, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, and so you've carved your own niche, doing a little bit of everything. Right now, it looks like you've been mainly doing these 200-mile races. But what made you want to do the Summit 200?
I don't really have like a specific reason. I guess I just thought it looked cool and it looked hard. And I think it hit on both of those bullet points. Like it was super pretty. All the sections, I guess the sections that I saw in the daytime anyways were really pretty. And yeah, it was really hard. It was the hardest 200 that I've done for sure. Like it's not what I would pick if I was to tell somebody that they were ready to step it up to a 200. Like that's not the one I would name for go for this one for your first one. Like it was pretty much just felt like every section was just kind of like a punch in the gut over and over again. And yeah, it just never got easier. Like there was no like gimme sections. Like every section I thought was tough in its own way. And I mean, if you were fresh, maybe some of those sections towards the end wouldn't be as bad, but that doesn't mean that they still wouldn't be rough if you were fresher. Because I know they said like the back 100 is harder, and the front 100 was really hard. So it just goes from hard to legendary difficulty on the back half. So it was good for me, I guess, maybe for like a confidence booster going forward, to where there was a bunch of times out there where I just feel like a fraud and like I don't know if I can do this. This is really hard. I feel this bad now. We got so much to go, and like I know what it feels like to not feel good. I've done other 200s, so it's like I know what the bottom of the well feels like when it's just like you don't see things getting better. But just keep going. Take a nap, eat something, just keep pushing. And I finished. I just wanted to finish. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. You know, I would have been happy as DFL, like as long as I was able to finish. So it was it was good. It was good to get to the finish line. Like it felt really really nice to finish. I was pretty proud of the effort that I was able to put down.
And so with this race, it's newer, but also the entrance list, like the amount of people doing this, extremely small compared to other races you've done.
Yep.
So you're doing this mountain 200. That's like when you look at the statistics, like the gain and loss, it's not too different than some of the harder 200s out in the country. But this is a lot more it's a small field. It's second year, a smaller company, and also just at high altitude. So, like, did this race feel any different because of that compared to the other 200s? Like you did Cocodona and Tahoe, and like, did it actually feel like this is a small, like I'm out here on my own? Like, there could be like no one for 50 miles. Like, it feels like, did it ever feel like that?
Um, it spread out pretty quickly by like the first night. I think the first two sections during the day, you know, you get started bunch of pavement in the beginning. You know, I felt like, dude, I don't know, I felt like it was like 40 miles of pavement in the beginning. That's probably a slight exaggeration, but not much. So everybody was kind of going out, you know, and running, and I was running with Andrea Moore and Jetson to start out with, and I feel like we were about the last 3, 4, 5 people off that first bike path, you know, 6 miles into the race, and I said the same thing, and Andrea said the same thing, like we're going too fast still, you know, and like you're not seeing anybody, like they're a ways ahead of us, and I don't know. I know where I'm at as an athlete, and I can't be starting a 200 running 9-10 minute miles for the first 10K to get to the trail just to make good time just because I can, because I just don't feel like that. I don't feel like that early investment's gonna pay off later. Like, you know, you're gonna feel that damage sooner rather than later, probably in the race. And pavement running is hard. I hate running on pavement, so I was trying to kind of take it easy there in the beginning. But towards the would be like the third aid station was getting to be like nighttime. I think that's around like 60-ish miles in. It was that Tiger Road, or the Tiger Road Loop or something like that. And by the time I got going on that, that was where the race got more lonely, I guess, where I wasn't seeing people quite as often. I was alone, and that was our first climb to like over 11.5, I believe. I know it was over 11. I'm not quite sure what it topped out at, but that was where I got sick for the first time on that first night, and I did it all to myself. But I it was cool, like it was nighttime, so it was cool, and I was trying to put in a bunch of calories, and then I at the last aid station I drank like a Starbucks coffee thing, and then right before I started that climb, I drank an energy drink, and I think I just mixed up way too much caffeine and way too much calories, and that plus climbing didn't do me any favors. And like halfway up that climb, I got sick, and then I couldn't eat anything or drink anything, and I got dehydrated and just felt generally terrible. So I was laying on a log. I took a picture just to prove that I was there, and I just like laid down and you know, in a pile of human whatever excrement, and laid there for a while and just thought that I was probably gonna die. And a few people passed me then. Like I was laying there and I shut my light off and I was just like in the dark on the top of a mountain crying and dying. And then a couple people, couple of the gals believe it would have been the gal that got second place and one of the other top female finishers. I think they were kind of working together, and they passed me on that first night. And I don't know if anybody else did when I was laying there, but once I got up, then finishing that Tiger Road loop, I was in pretty rough shape. I think just being dehydrated because I couldn't drink anything. Because every time I would try to drink water, I would just spit it back up, and ended up with a really nasty limp. Like my hip felt like it was just locked up, I think, just because I was dehydrated. So I did like 10 miles of that 18-mile loop at like a mile an hour, or maybe a little bit better than a mile an hour, but it was super duper slow, and I was just like hating my life for a really long time because I was planning to sleep after I finished that section, and yeah, it was just way past my bedtime by the time I made it back to that aid station. And then that aid station, there was lots of people there. It was just a good resting spot because you hit that aid station twice, so people were either finishing up sleeping and going out on that loop, or they were done with that loop and they were headed over to Montezuma, I think, like Candace's aid station at mile 90, whatever it was. But yeah, once I got going on that section, it was quiet. Like you weren't doing much running with a bunch of other people. Caitlin, who got third, female, that was maybe that section ish was where we kind of linked up because we ended up doing. I'm not going to exaggerate and say like 100, the last 100 miles together, but we were kind of like around each other a lot for the last 100 miles. And like we were the only two in aid stations pretty frequently for like the rest of the race. Like she would be in there and then I would show up and then she would leave, or I would get there first and then she would show up 5 minutes later, or vice versa, or whatever. But yeah, that for in that last part, it was kind of just me and her for most of the aid stations. Getting to maybe the second to last aid station, that one before you got to Breck, there were a couple gals ahead of me that were literally like just on their way out when I got to that aid station. So that would have been like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night on like Wednesday night. And then after that, yeah, it was I had my buddy Harrison pacing me for that last 40, so I at least had company for the last 40 miles. So that wasn't lonely, which was cool because that first section that we took off on climbing over that pass, I don't remember what it's called, to get Frenchies to get into to Breckenridge. We had a run-in with a cow moose at like 5 feet, and then she like ran up the trail and then stopped on the trail. So that was like my slowest mile of the whole race, which was cool. So we were just hanging out on the top of the mountain for like 30 minutes waiting for her to move, and then she did. But yeah, that would have sucked doing that alone. So it was cool that I had a buddy for that part. And then yeah, I think that very last section, it was yeah, it was all alone. Like I think I was headed up the hill to the trail, and then Caitlin was coming down to the aid station, so she was like 10, 15 minutes behind me or whatever. And then that was about it. There was the gal right in front of me, and then a guy in front of her. They were, according to the tracker, I think I looked just to kind of give me like something to do, was, try to catch up to them or get kind of to where I could see them at least going up the mountain. And I never did. Like they were half an hour or an hour ahead of me. So I never did get a glimpse of anybody, but it kind of gave me like a carrot, I guess, to like go after something to try to get the race done a little bit sooner. But yeah, it was definitely a small field, but then I don't really notice like Cocodona. I don't know. I mean, there's like 300 people out there, but that gets pretty lonely by the end too. Like I think from Tut Hill to Walnut this year, I saw maybe 2 people, and then from like Walnut to the finish, maybe like 4. Like it's not, yeah, it's not like you're in a, a 50K with like 100 people or something like that. Like even with a field of 300 plus, like it does spread out, because you got half the people that are already done ahead of me by a couple days in or whatever, that you're the people at the front of the pack. I'd never see them at all.
Yeah.
Like I barely even see the front runners in the starting corral at Cocodona, right? Like they're around the corner and up that hill, and I never see them again. So and then maybe some of the people that are more towards the like mid to back of the pack, like I don't ever see those people either. So you're you're kind of alone in a 200. You're alone, I guess, is the best way to put it. Like if you don't have pacers, like plan on being alone, because even if you do link up with another runner, like you guys probably aren't going to be going the same pace for not a super long time. They'll speed up, or you'll speed up, or they'll slow down, or you will slow down, and then you're alone again. So I think if you're going into this race expecting to have company all the time, that's probably not going to happen. It was cool. It was definitely cool to bump into some people. I got to see Adam one time. He was in fourth at the time, trying to catch up to Nicholas in third place, and he was headed up out of that Duck Creek or Duck Valley or whatever it was called, and I was headed down to that aid station. So he was at that time 14 miles ahead of me, I guess, on the second, heading into the second night. And yeah, by that time he was 14 miles ahead of me, and I told him where I saw Nicholas, and he was like, "Oh, cool, thanks." And then he took off, and that was the last time I saw him, except for he did come say what's up at the Breck aid station, because he had finished and slept an entire night and was chilling. So I was laying outside my van on a rug dying, and he was popped in and said what's up, and told me what to expect on that last section. So that was cool. Get a little insider info from a pro. But yeah, I would say don't expect to have the the fanfare of Cocodona at Summit, but not everybody is looking for that either. Like you don't need the drones flying around. Jason was flying around a drone, I guess, for pictures and stuff, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, it's just it's more low key, which fits me better. Like I'm from North Dakota. Like our trail race that we have out here is super chill. That's where I was at before I left for Summit. That race started on the 100-miler started on Friday. So I was volunteering at an aid station on Friday and then Saturday until like noonish, and then I left. Somebody came to relieve me at that aid station, and then I left and headed down to Colorado for Summit. But that was the exact same thing. I think there was 31 runners in the 100-miler here in North Dakota. So I mean, like that's kind of my jam, is the more low key, small company, chill, laid back stuff. And that doesn't mean like the aid stations at Summit were awesome. Like they took care of me fine. There was long sections where you didn't have crew, so you're just relying on just the aid stations, and there wasn't a bad aid station at all. The only aid station that maybe for me it was totally fine, but for some other runners it would be kind of a bummer, was Regina's station, because I think for hot food the only thing they had was ramen.
Oh, that sucks.
So I love ramen, so it worked totally fine for me. But somebody might have wanted like a quesadilla or like whatever, something different. So just having one option, that's all they were given. So that's all that people had. But it was right before a 22 plus mile section. Yeah. So it's kind of like I can't, I can pack quesadillas, right? Like you could make me 4 quesadillas and I could throw them into my vest and I could eat those out on the trail. But you can't really haul cup ramen up a mountain, because that section starts immediately with like a 4+ mile climb to the top of the Webster Pass. So yeah, that would have been one spot where it was super small. It was Regina, and then there was another guy, a young kid that was volunteering at that aid station, who then was doing a great job because again I saw him at Breck, so he like finished up his shift there, and then he would have went into town and volunteered at Breck. So because he recognized me, and then after a minute, like my brain kind of like clicked, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember seeing you at that other spot. But yeah, no, I thought like they didn't have hot food at the very first aid station, 20 miles into the race, but that's at whatever morning time. Like, do you really need, do I really need ramen soup at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning? Probably not. Like, you don't. But yeah, every other one, they had whatever I wanted. Sometimes I wasn't in the mood for what they had, but like from a prepped food standpoint, but like I can pretty much always eat instant potatoes or ramen, and that works for me. I know for some people maybe it doesn't. So if that's if you think you'd need to have the full catered like DT thing at every single aid station, like you're probably going to be left wanting a little bit at this race. But like, what do you expect? It's half the price, like
Yeah.
you kind of have to have a little bit of that self-efficacy on these long races too, to where maybe, I don't know, dude, do you need to start packing like a Mountain House meal thing in your pack and then borrow some of their hot water and cook something for yourself? Like, figure it out, I guess. I think that's a lot to expect maybe of a race that only has like 30 entrants in it, to like, oh yeah, we've got ground beef making burgers at every single aid station, and we just made these 4 burgers, but we're not expecting another runner for like 7 hours or something like that. Like, that's kind of what, that's too much to ask, my opinion. Like, I wouldn't expect that even in the future. Like, I think Candace's aid station, they had like their own little pizza oven thing, so they would throw like a little flatbread type thingy in there. And I'm lactose intolerant, but they had vegan cheese, so I ate a little pizza and a cup of ramen before I left that one. So it was like, meh, it was cool to have something different. But like, dude, I can just eat vegan cheese quesadillas and ramen, and that's fine. Like, it's salty calories and it's warm, and drink coffee if they've got it. Like, that works for me.
So for a lot of people that have done 200-mile races now with Andrea and everything, this is kind of like they looked at this as like the next step in a way. It's a smaller race at high altitude, technically the highest altitude 200 on average. But like, I like what you said. It doesn't matter if there's 30 people or 300. Like, it spreads out so fast. It just never feels that way unless you go to, the only time it really feels that way is at certain aid stations, right?
Sure. Yeah.
That's where you can feel kind of like the big difference. Like, oh, this is different. Yeah. So Regina, you mentioned Regina. She was doing the Hall Valley aid station, which was, I think, 2 aid stations after Candace's. I know Candace was able to recruit quite the team. It looks
I think
like.
it was 2. I think it was 2
Yeah.
after, because it was Montezuma, and then Duck, and then Hall.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I know she was off the grid on
very.
that
Yep.
aid station. She had no signal, so
No.
we only Garmin messaged for 3 days, I think. We had to in-reach message each other
Yeah.
just to make sure she was alive. So yeah, and we'll hear from her perspective a little later on in one of these episodes, because this is I was supposed to be there with her until I got a new job, and I couldn't
I heard
make
about that.
it. Yeah, I'm sure. And like I had to get a new job, or I didn't have to, but I got a new job and I couldn't make it. But talked to Chase and them. Sounds like they got replacements, but sometimes people say that, and behind the scenes, things are chaotic, and hopefully it wasn't that way. We'll see. Regina just got back last night. Maybe she'll eventually vent to me and be like, "Why did you abandon us?" I don't know. Maybe she'll say that. We'll see. But so this race, what made it harder than the other 200s?
The elevation for sure. I mean, I'm from North Dakota, so like I was at 2,000 feet, the day before the race started. So, going from 2 to 9 for your low, and then just spending a ton of time, above 11, plenty of time above 12. Like, it was it was noticeable for me for sure. Like, I mean, I know what it feels like to be at elevation, but then I guess I've never really had to spend that long at elevation. So the elevation was really tough. The a lot of both the gain and descending was really technical. It wasn't just like switchbacky up or a groomed trail. It was like a rock filled pit road to the top of some of those passes with like a 20% grade. There was like one time I looked at my watch and it said like 23% grade. And I'm like, we're going straight up a mountain. If I slip and fall backwards, I'm gonna like cartwheel down off the side of this thing. So the going up was tough, and then the downs were the same. So like I'm not good at descending. I can climb pretty steady, but going down super steep, super loose stuff is really hard for me. So I feel like I lost a ton of time on some of those descents because they're just long, like miles long of going down some wicked steep loose rocks, and you're trying not to break your ankle and trying not to fall on your face because I think that's the only just right there.
That's it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't think I have anything else. Maybe like one something on my knee, but I mean, I could have broke my arm on that one. That was pretty stupid because I did use my arm to stop the fall, and it worked, but not, not recommended. Felt like I think I bent one of my poles, like I was holding it up and looking at it, and it doesn't look straight anymore. It looks like it's got a little bit of like a backwards bow to it. So I think it was straight before the race started. So if it got bent during, doesn't surprise me because I was putting a ton of weight on my poles going downhill. Like it was full four-wheel drive for me to try to get down some of those. So yeah, and just every section was like that, right? Like I can just kind of mentally, like Cocodona, I've done that one twice, so you can just kind of think of like, okay, if you can survive for the first couple of days, like you can probably finish, like if you can get off Mingus and get to Jerome, like you can probably finish that race. You just have now you have that hangover trail and that sucks, but it's not insane. And then you just got to go up and down Mingus. But like after that, you can pretty much just ultra shuffle for like 80 miles because you're just on like fairly flat stuff.
Yeah.
For that last 125, like in the last 125, there can't be more than, you know, 15 plus miles of climbing. Like the rest of it's pretty flat. So
I'd say the same thing for
this
Cocodona.
yeah, like this race, it was like Tahoe where every section was just long and climbing, going up and going down. But this one, you're sitting way higher up. Like your low point at Summit is like the high point at Tahoe. So you're way higher up, and the sections are kind of the same where they're really long, and you're going up a lot and you're going down a lot, and it's kind of the monotony maybe gets to you if you're not expecting that, to where just you look at the course profile, I guess, of like every section, and it's just start out low, climb a mountain, go down a mountain to an aid station, and then rinse and repeat was kind of like
Tahoe.
yeah. And that's how Tahoe is too. So that part of it, I can look at a course profile and kind of understand what I'm getting into. And I knew I knew this was going to be hard, and I was expecting, like, I felt like I was the appropriate level of scared for it, where I thought that, this had the potential to be the hardest race that I've done so far. And I mean, it lived up to it. Like I told Casey after that, nobody's going to sign up for this race that's doing it for Facebook or Instagram. Like, you're not going to get your runfluencer people out there doing that race. Like, it's too long without being able to have crew. The sections are too long. It's not sexy. It's just really hard. And if you're out there for any reason other than to like challenge yourself and try to do something hard, you're not gonna finish it. Like you would quit for sure. So I mean, it lived up to what I was expecting. Like I haven't done every 200, but I mean, I would be I would be pretty surprised if like any of the other 200s were harder. Maybe that one up in Canada, the Divide, I think. I could haven't done it yet, but I mean that type of race, like I mean, I think there's measures you can take for some of the other 200s to like increase your odds of success to where they're just like level of perceived difficulty is lower. Not to say that any 200 is easy, because they're not. Like Cocodona's hard as hell, right? Like it's not. There's nothing easy about that race, but I would still say that it's easier than Summit was. Personally, I mean, might be different. Might be different for somebody that's done every 200 out there. They like I'm not gonna throw Monster in there because I think 300 is like too far removed from what 200s are. Like I wouldn't compare Summit to that from a difficulty standpoint. But I mean, I would guess that I would say that Summit's probably a little bit more physically challenging than that too. I wouldn't know.
It is. I can go ahead and say it. Monster just has one ridiculous mountain, which I think is
Yeah.
pretty dumb compared to the rest of the course. But other than that,
Yeah.
it's just more mental. 6 days.
Yeah.
But
Of the same thing, like you're just
the
kind of
same-
looking at the desert
the
for
same
a week.
desert, and you start if you think too much about it, you're like, I'm in the middle of the desert. Oh my God, this is how people die.
Right.
And what am I doing? Yeah, it happens a lot. I agree with you about Cocodona. The first half is exponentially harder than the second. I haven't done the Hangover Trail though. For that edition this year, I always ask guests about if they did it, how the Hangover Trail was, because it just sounds, for me as a bigger guy, terrifying, since my body just naturally likes to push itself towards the edge of a cliff. Or
Yeah.
a drop off. So
Yeah, it was scary. I would imagine they'll keep it though. I think the views and stuff are really good. So for that reason alone, I would say that they would probably keep it. But I preferred the Kasner climb just from
yeah, I missed
just from
that.
an
Like,
just from an effort standpoint. You know, I can bang out a straight 2 mile climb and then I'm up on the plateau and then it's done. It's not like 5 hours of rock hopping on the side of a cliff to get up to the top. So yeah, I don't know. I think they'll keep it. So I guess if you're trying to add in, you know, make it not like crank the difficulty down to like medium difficulty for Cocodona for the whole second half. Like, you know, go from hard to medium till right at the end. Like that added something to it. Like I think it added a little bit more of maybe more of what people are looking for in a 200 miler, as opposed to just being on a cow trail and climbing a big ass hill to the plateau. But
yeah. And Stephanie, Caitlin Johnson, who we're gonna talk with here in a few weeks. She's the one who did Uray and then the summit. Uray was kind of a last minute. She just got invited off of it, but she finished. She was the first female at the Great Divide. So she's, you know, you probably ran into her, maybe not. I don't know if you remember her, but a cool little tidbit, shows just how small. Even though I think, you know, trail running community has gotten pretty big, but it still can be pretty small. We're running into everyone. Like apparently, like I said, like Stephanie alluded to, you're at Possums and you guys know each other.
We already knew each other.
What a
Yeah.
small world, man.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
We have to do a shout out real quick. Dylan finished that race 2 hours before me.
Nice, like
So
15
Dylan
hours.
crushed that.
Yeah, that's
You know,
that's
our,
impressive.
Our mystery co-host that doesn't show up.
He's
anymore,
the
but
one
he was
doing the
fast one time.
supposed quote unquote fight club at the, you know, gambling ring or something. We don't know what he's up to these days. He edits these though. That's that's what we know, or at least we think he does.
Yeah.
So we think he listens because he'll always mention something about listening.
Yeah, he usually keeps us in check because Stephanie and I like to fight a lot. Although it hasn't happened in a while. I was hoping we could fight earlier, but it looks like you kind of Elliott, you kind of acted as the mediator.
Yeah,
here.
I can be
Yeah,
in between. I
you
can.
This is so
mediated that.
embarrassing, but you're not the first guest that's had to mediate since Dylan's been off. Like one guest before we even started recording, I fucking hopped off because I was so pissed at Andrew. And I was like, I'm not coming back until you
Whoa.
act right. And then I had to get on and I had to tell her, like, I'm not really crazy, or maybe I am, but Andrew, like,
This was Katie
who was it?
O'Connor. Katie O'Connor,
Oh, so
who's gonna be.
embarrassing.
I'm
I
gonna
was
have her
not.
coach me soon, just because she's one of my favorites. She also did Cocodona this year.
She was cool with it. She was cool with
Of
me.
course, everyone's cool with it. That's people have said we need to fight more, so I'm just trying to let's get
I
at
just
it.
don't like to be bossed around.
I don't
I'm
like to boss
enjoying
people
my.
around. You think I can? You know? I don't think anyone likes to be bossed around. But speaking of
Sometimes
bosses,
there's a time and a place for that.
I don't I don't know what you're alluding to, but I feel like it is inappropriate for this podcast.
Well, ask Regina.
Oh, what? Excuse me. I don't know what that means. But Elliot, let's get wildly off topic here. My man, we're in the same cohort. You grew up on anime, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I can just taking a wild guess. Nothing
You
to
can-
do with your.
Little stab.
Yeah. So I too am a child of the '90s anime and whatnot, But so before you got into ultra running, man, like what were you watching, man? What was your rotation like?
Before I got into running?
Yeah, did you even watch, or did you get into this after you got into running? Which is
No.
kind of a weird.
No. Yeah, no, I've been since like Toonami since I was a kid, so yeah.
Toonami, Adult
Yeah.
Swim, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Cartoon
Yeah.
Network, yeah.
So yeah, just all your basics like Bleach, One Piece, Gundam, yeah, that type of stuff. So yeah,
was-
still always been into it. It's mainstream now, so that's kind of weird. Everybody thinks it's cool, and you can go see movies in theaters now, so that's neat. But yeah, no, it's always been in the rotation. It's just a little bit more accepted now, so that's cool.
I was kind of partial towards Trigun for some reason.
Ooh, yeah, no, I love Vash the Stampede. That's my
Yeah,
guy.
dude, just the blissful ignorance and just,
Yeah. Goop.
it's something about that.
Happy go lucky.
So if you were to have like a walkout song to all of your trail races, random question, can you think of a walkout song? Because I'll give you some time by telling you mine. I don't know if you've seen the movie Air Force One with Harrison Ford and Gary Oldman,
Yeah, I believe I have.
but like Harrison Ford's just like, get off my plane, and just like deploys a parachute, and the song play the presidential music that plays during that song, the orchestral number, the piece. Like, I'll play it probably on the title card of this episode so people know. I would want that as my walkout song. It's just epic, cool, badass. I just saved the fucking president or the country or whatever from Russian terrorists. Fantastic. But would you have one?
Boy, dude, I'll just do like a quick poll. It'd probably be like System of a Down, like Chop Suey, I guess. Just something like off the wall, get you
Yeah.
ready to roll, something like that. If you gave me like a bunch of time, I could probably come up with something. Maybe that one wouldn't hit for most people, I don't think. You'd have to do for us, it'd have to be something a little more like Linkin Park or something like that. Maybe some Creed, since they're popular again now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Texas Rangers, man. When I'm as a Texas boy, the Rangers won the World Series singing nothing but Creed.
Yeah, there you go.
So, so Chop Suey is a nice one, just because, like, lyrically speaking.
Yeah, just kind of oddity lyrically.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I thought maybe we were gonna do like BYOB or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
If
That's
we
a
were gonna
good-
do Chop Suey.
Yeah.
But so why did you leave your car keys on the table, my friend?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it's a Chop Suey lyric. I apologize.
Oh God, you killed me on that one.
I'm so sorry, man. I didn't mean to call. Did I accidentally call you out on that? Oh,
yeah.
man.
Now I am a fraud.
Yo, no, Stephanie, come back. She left. We need... No, I love Chop Suey though. It's a great song. Um, so in your spare time when you're not running these races, man, do you have any other hobbies? What makes you Elliott?
For hobbies, I like working on cars, like old cars.
Wow.
Yeah, I was before I got my current job, I was a mechanic when I got out of college. So I did that for a couple of years. So then I hated working on cars. So then I quit being a mechanic and got my new job. And then 3 or 4 years later, I started liking cars again. So then I was able to work on cars and not completely hate it. So that's would probably be the big thing. Just the typical like North Dakota outdoor stuff too, hunting, stuff like that. Which I guess isn't I actually, you know what? I actually don't like calling that a hobby because it's too serious.
It's too much
You
of a
shouldn't
lifestyle, maybe.
no, I mean, I just think you shouldn't. I don't think you should consider like killing something as like a hobby. That's yeah, that was maybe a bad pick for hobby. But that's something that I do a lot, I guess. But yeah, I take it maybe more seriously than calling it a hobby. And then yeah, other than that, just working, which isn't a hobby, but we have to do it so we can afford to go run. So that's part of it too.
What's the trail running scene like where you're at in North Dakota?
With where I'm at in Western North Dakota, it's good. We have our trail in the Badlands. It's called the Maah Daah Hey Trail. So like for Stephanie, that's your only option for your 100 miler. Like that's the only 100 miler that we have in North Dakota. So yeah, it was just this last weekend. Like it's like the last weekend in July is when we host it. And yeah, it's a pretty big event. Like we have a lot of people come out to run the shorter distances. They have the 100, the 50, the marathon, the half, the 10K, 5K kids run, that type of stuff. But they'll get like 1,000 registrants for every distance combined, which the majority of them are in the shorter distance ones. But yeah, it'll be a big race, I think, in years to come. Like we're doing a pretty decent job of trying to build it, and it seems like more people sign up for it every year. But yeah, we have kind of a little group. We start doing like group runs out there in the Badlands on the trails. It's the trail system's awesome. It's all single track. It's rugged. It's beautiful. Like it's not what you would picture when you're thinking of like the TV show Fargo or something like that. Like that's not where I live. Like we've got hills and trees and
That's
a bit.
basically Minnesota, anyways,
Yeah.
in a way. So
But yeah, no, it's the scene is really solid and it's growing. It's not Colorado, but we do okay.
so stalking you some more, which there's only really one way to stalk people on social media or ultra sign up. Can't really see anything that's public as far as your next venture, as far as trail running is. Do you have anything on the radar coming up?
Yeah. I'll be in October. I'll be doing the Maah Daah Hey Trail. So it's about 155 miles point to point. So for that event, it's a registerable event, and for they call it the Buck 50. So for that one, it's you're free to do it whenever in the summer. Like the registration, you can run it anytime between May and the end of October. So you just hit up the race director, and then you're just using like your GPX on your watch as proof that you did the event. So I'll be going back. I did that 2 years ago. I think I did the Buck 50. So I'll be trying to do it quite a bit faster this time. So that'll be the last thing that I have on the calendar here for 25, and then yeah, buried on the wait list for Cocodona next year.
How bad we talking?
4 or something.
Oh, in the 400s.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No,
pretty varied.
I'll get in. Like I'm gonna train like I'm gonna get in because
Yeah.
I think they do such a good job with getting people feeling FOMO and excited and stuff. Like I would say that a third of the people that are signed up for it right now are probably gonna back out. So they're just warming up a seat for me, and then 200 plus of the people ahead of me are not super serious about it, and then the other ones that are super serious, they're not going to get invited till right before the race, so then they're not going to do it. And that's kind of like I'm training. I'm going to train like I'll be in it. I don't know. I feel like you have to do that. I can't just be all chill all winter long, and then April rolls around and then you get an email that says that you're in. Like I it takes me a long time to build running fitness, and it takes me like 2 weeks to lose it. So I'm not running now, obviously, because I just finished Summit, and I won't be running for like 10 days plus, and I finished whatever 4 or 5 days ago, and I'm not going to be running for a little while yet. And then when I start running, it's going to be like 30 minutes at a time. So
Yeah.
I can't take all winter off and get ready to do Coco again. So I'll be getting ready in the winter to hopefully run it back for the third time next year.
How are you right now? Like, do you need assistance? Can you get up from your chair and take a couple steps without having to hang on to an assistive device?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can walk good. Today was fine. I was back at work, and I have a job in town too, so I went back to work today, and I was totally fine getting around. Feet are good. Had like a couple blisters on my big toe that they popped on their own, and I just never did anything with them. The rest of my body hurt enough to where I didn't really care that I had a couple blisters that were bothering me, so that wasn't a big deal. But yeah, I don't have anything too pressing as far as pain goes. Like just the regular, bones feel like they're made of glass, and my blood feels like gasoline. So it's pretty normal post 200 stuff. Like nothing too insane. Just the appropriate amount of beat up, I think.
So you've done your fair share of tough 100 milers as well. We're trying to get Stephanie to do 200 miler. She's done a lot of 100 milers, and now she's done a lot of long 100 milers, even Cruel Jewel, which was like basically on the fringe of a 200 mile time on peak distance type of
Yeah.
race. Is there anything you could say to try to convince Stephanie? What's the allure of the 200-mile distance to you?
Probably the laid back nature. I think like that sense of urgency isn't quite there. Where in 100 milers, I guess take my I guess it's not my last 100 miler, but like when I did Crazy Mountain, like I was just scared the whole time. You had that anxiety of like, am I gonna miss this cutoff? Because I was only like a couple hours ahead of cutoff, and I made up time at the end because the last probably like 20 miles are pretty gradual. Like you come off the mountain and then you're running on like a road for 6 or 7 miles to get to the finish line. So if you can shuffle, like you can make back quite a bit of time. But I ran into Wes plate at the like Forest Lake aid station or something like that, and at that time I think we were maybe 45 minutes ahead of cutoff or something like that. So I don't know. If you can walk, if you can walk,
Cut off on that one like 36 hours. Or
yeah, it's
something?
30. It's 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, which for that race, I mean, she wants it to be not you got to be like willing to go hard to do that race. Like that's not a beginner 100 miler at all, right? Like I wouldn't tell somebody that. It's like if you're looking to certify yourself as like a badass, like that's a good 100 miler to do it in. That's not like a, oh yeah, that's a good one to get under your belt type thing. Like not a kid's race for sure. Like you got to put your big boy big girl pants on for that one. But yeah, in the 200s, like I don't know. I still ask. I'm like, hey, when's the cutoff? And then they're like, oh, it's tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I can live with that. And even when I'm laying on the side of a mountain puking, not moving for 30 minutes, like when you get to the aid station, it's still like, oh yeah, you still have 14 hours before the sweeper even goes. Because I talked to the sweeper at that after I had my little puke session. She was chilling at the aid station. She's like, oh yeah, they're not letting me go to sweep for like 7 more hours. And I was like, sweet, I can work with that. Like, take a 2 hour nap and get going, and then you're still 5 hours ahead of when the person's supposed to sweep that section. So it's like, yep, we're doing okay. But yeah, I don't know. The 200s, it's different. It's not the same. It's not the same event. Like the difference between a 50K and a 50 miler is pretty drastic, in my opinion. And then the difference between, like, I don't think 50s are anything like 100 milers. Like your 50s are all pretty. It's pretty much like a 1 day thing. You're gonna be going home at the end of the day, and if you're super speedy, you're going to be like having supper or something at home, depending on when the race starts. And, 100 miler, you're out there for a night or 2 nights if it's some crazy 100 that starts at an odd time. So yeah, I don't know. I guess hundreds are hard. I look at hundreds like I look at a road marathon. It's like, damn, you got to run a lot in 100. And you really don't have to run a hell of a lot in a 200. If you can just move and minimize your time at an aid station, like you're gonna probably do pretty damn good in at 200s if you're a fast hiker. And I don't know. It seems like every gal that I always run with, they always have like an extremely high propensity to deal with pain and not complain about it ever. So then that kind of leans more towards like why there was what four out of the top 10 at Summit were women, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was like damn near half the.
And Caitlin was ninth.
Okay,
Caitlin came right after you.
Yeah,
so,
she was literally like, I hadn't even finished my first beer when she crossed the finish line, so it was like she was right behind me.
You just start drinking faster.
Yeah, I should have started at the top of the mountain actually. I thought about it, but that probably wouldn't have worked out.
As someone that has drank alcohol in the middle of a race before, I'm not a fireball drinker, but they actually do kind of help in the middle of a low moment. I don't know why. I don't know if it just kicks you in the ass.
Yeah, it's just a mood boost. You feel good, right? That those endorphins hit. Yeah. I drank a beer at the top of Eldon that first year I did Cocodona.
Oh my God. I could barely breathe. So.
At Pete's Meats, so I had some barbecue and a beer. So that was pretty legit. I would recommend that. I miss having that aid station at the top of the mountain there for sure. But yeah, no, Stephanie, I think you can come out to North Dakota and do our 100. That's it's 116. So, and it takes a long ass time, so it'll feel like 200.
That's a good next step.
Are you talking about is it Maah Daah or
Maah Daah Hey is what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah.
I've researched it.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be your only it's your only choice for 100 in North Dakota, and it's an awesome race. Like it's super pretty, and I mean I think we had 31 runners this year and 11 finished. So it's 50% or better don't finish that race. So it's like it's not. I mean, you've done like Cruel Jewel and stuff like that where you're doing one of those races that it's not a good first 100, and this one's not either. It's really hard. So you'd like it.
And it's got a 30-hour cutoff. I fucking hate 30-hour cutoffs.
Yeah, I think.
Or that's what I have in my notes about when I researched it.
30
okay,
hours for
well,
116 miles?
Nah, it's got to be 36. I think. So let's see. Let's do the math on it. It started at noon on Friday, and then the cutoff was midnight on Saturday.
That's
so
36 hours.
Yeah, it's 36.
Well, let me fix that in my notes on.
Yeah, but 36. So just to give you like a little bit of background, if you could run that race in like 27 hours, you'd probably win. Like that's pretty
And it only has 12,000 feet of gain, so it's just really technical.
It's not technical at all. It's like an extremely nice trail, like very, very nice.
It's like Vermont, or not
No,
at
it's
all. I
it's
don't know.
That is nothing like Vermont. Vermont, I got,
yeah,
16,000 feet in 100 miles.
yeah, no, that's what
So the
that
trick is that it's 16 miles over 100. That's what makes it hard.
uh maybe it's the conditions. It's extremely hot. People don't respect the conditions. Like you have decently
That's where I'm
long.
coming from Texas.
Yeah, and
So,
I mean there was a gal that I met there this year who she came up there from Texas to North Dakota for her first 100 miler, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, she said she was hot. She said it was hot. And I think if I remember right, I believe she was from San Antonio. Maybe I'd have to look that up on the registrants list. But yeah, it's really hot. Like people, I don't know, you wouldn't think it, but I mean, it was 90. I think it was 96. Got up to like 96, and it's all exposed. There's zero cover, so you're just out in the sun. It's called the Badlands for a reason, I guess. Like it's kind of an unforgiving place, and that attrition is kind of what wears people out. Like maybe they start a little too hot and burn up, and then they can't recover at night. It's really hard. And it's another one too. Like we talked about this here for Summit, where
she didn't finish.
no,
From San Antonio.
yeah, I think only I want to say maybe one female finished.
Oh my God. See, those are the ones I love. Give me 30 runners. The
Yeah,
odds that females don't finish because
no,
that's,
there.
I feel like
I
there's
think
so many that we
yeah,
don't sign up for because there's not enough representation.
yep,
And then I'm not a front of the pack runner, but I've got some really good endurance
yeah.
at the tail end. I
Yeah,
can,
well, I mean, having somebody like okay, take you for an example, somebody who's not inexperienced, like you respect the distance, right? So it's not 100. Like when you get to my aid station on the way back, you're at like mile 99. So you think you're done, right? But no, you have 17 miles to go. Like that's a long ass ways in a 100 miler, and we call it a 100 miler, right? But it's like if you're one of those people that doesn't read the race report or the manual thing, and you just show up, and they're like, oh yeah, it's 36-hour cutoff, but it's like damn near 20 miles longer than 100. So good luck, have fun, run hard. Like, yeah,
that makes
it'll
me want to switch around my schedule and do it next year instead of 2027.
yeah, no, you'd really like it. It's an awesome race. I wish we could get a ton more people out there to do it. It's scary, you get out there, you're alone. Like you need a crew. Like if you don't have a crew, I wouldn't like the actual full aid stations are too far apart. Like we don't have it's the same it's literally it's the same people that are volunteering there every year. Like we don't have the pull for volunteers to have a bunch of like full aid stations with a bunch of food and stuff. Like we literally don't. And yeah, you pretty much need a crew to go to the aid stations. Like have a car, have stuff for you for food. You'll get hot food twice, I think. So I mean, it's like
So I know you were talking about like small races and how, you're good with what you have. I bring food just because I've done so many small races. Like
yep,
you're never guaranteed anything.
for
So
sure.
I'm pretty self-sufficient. I mean, I do eat off the aid stations every now and then, but I'm pretty good about like packing my own food. I feel like me saying that, like something's gonna go wrong on my next race because I'm too
And
cocky.
you're gonna drop half of your stuff out of your pack and then
Yes.
not have it. I did that at Cocodona this year on that first 37. So
Oh my
I know,
God.
I know what that's all about. So
Terrible place for that to happen.
don't. Yeah, no, it was right away. It was that water stop. I like pulled my bladder out to fill it, and I must have like hooked my like plastic bag with all my stuff in it, and I dropped like half my calories out there. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
so that sucked. I was like 20 miles in. It was cold though, right? Like I had I was getting hailed on and rained on and stuff. So at least I wasn't dying in the heat and not able to take anything. Like I'd rather be half frozen because I'm fat enough to where I can live off that for like an hour or two till I get to that Lane Mountain thing. But yeah, but yeah, no, if you come out for the Maah Daah Hey, you'll have to hit me up. I think next year though, I'm probably gonna be going back to Crazy Mountain. It's the same day. That Crazy Mountain and the Maah Daah Hey are on the exact same day in July. So I'm planning on going back to do year 2 for me for that one next year. So I don't think I'll be around that next year. But yeah, no, I would. You could look. It's not super accurate, but you could look on my YouTube channel. I have videos of when I did the 100 and then when I did the buck 50. But the way that we do the 100 miler now, it's 116 miles. It used to be like 107. So the year I did it, it was 107, and now it's 116. So it's the same trail, but it's not exactly the same race. Like it's just not the same thing. So, but yeah, I mean, if it's on your list, keep it on your list. It's a really good one. You'll like it. I mean, you're gonna hate it while you're out there, but you'll really like it when you get done.
Sounds like she doesn't have a choice right now unless she does her own self-supported.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't.
never know.
That's the only 100 miler we got in North Dakota. So
She can just wait like 10 years and make that one of her last ones, I guess.
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be, now that I think about it, come next year, it might be a mile or two shorter because I think they're building this thing in the little town that the race finishes in, and I think that's probably going to be like the new start finish, and I believe that that's probably like a mile and a half up the trail. So like it might be 114 miles next year and the years following. So it might be a little bit shorter,
You're
and the
18
cutoff will
miles
stay the
ahead.
same. The cutoff will stay the same.
I just need help with pacers.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll
If you
find
can,
'em.
yeah, if you could hunt some people down to come up there with you, like anybody that came up there, you'd love it. It's all, we got like the Teddy Roosevelt National Park and stuff is there, so you can do a bunch of sightseeing and get tossed by a buffalo or whatever. Yeah, we got all that like, Western stuff that if you're into.
She's gonna do it. She has no choice.
Yeah, so if you do it in 2 years, I'll be there.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. Is 2027 is on my list.
Yeah, if it's on the
'Cause
list,
there's a race that's in a lottery race, so I'm trying to do all the lottery races early.
Yeah.
Because if I don't get in, then I have a buffer year.
right.
That's like 2 weeks after that. And the lottery one that I'm trying to get in, I have to do it in under 24 because they don't have a 100 miler
Ooh.
in Rhode Island. So I have to do a 24-hour race.
And get 100 miles.
Yeah.
I can't do that, so good luck.
I've done it before.
Yeah,
And it just depends on the terrain.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of like being in the heat in the summer. It's like I go up north and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. This
yeah.
weather
That's
is
a lot
amazing.
of free fitness if you're
Yeah.
heat adapted. But yeah, it's this one. It is not cool. You will not feel not hot, like full sun, very hot. Even though you're from a place where it's like 100, we're almost 100, so it's
The
really
worst.
hot. It's a desert. It's hot.
I have no AC. I went back to work today in my classroom and it's like 80 degrees. And I'm fine because I've been lazy all summer and like been running in the heat of the day because I don't get up early enough.
Yeah,
And every teacher that walks in is like, "Oh my God, it's so hot in here. How are you sitting in here?" And I'm like, "It's really not that bad." It's
Yeah,
like my
so
AC doesn't
we'll
everywhere.
send Stephanie out there. She has no choice, and so now it's nice to know that she has to do this race, and that apparently she's going to suffer. But we're going to wrap this episode up, Elliot. Thank you for so much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially at stir of the moment, like in this weird Monday. Today's Monday, right? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Jesus
yep.
Christ. Mondays, am I right?
They'll get you.
Yeah, it got me. I got. So, but we like to end this on something called Can't Let It Go, where basically anything running or non-running related you don't mind talking about or speaking to that's been kind of occupying your brain lately. I'll go first. I haven't really been running much, but I did kind of participate in a gas station 50K that me and my friends did, where we ran. We have a gas station called Circle K. I don't know if North Dakota has them.
We do.
We looped a 50K. It was 34 miles a route from in the city of Houston. Linked up 7 to 8 Circle Ks, and we just ran. I worked, so they were going to start at 7 when I got off, but I told them I'm not going to make you suffer. So they started at 5. So I got off work, so I worked all night. Then I showed up, ran backwards to find them, joined up with them. I ended up doing about a marathon because they're already like 9 miles in. I felt better than I ever have. So since Monster, so this was amazing. We did stop a lot, like a lot, because of all the Circle Ks and just people stopping and whatnot. But then after we got done at 5 or 4 p.m., I had to hurry up, go home, go back to work again at night. And then I got worked another 12 hours, got off work, went to a run club Sunday morning where I did maybe half a mile and then was like, fuck this, and then slept in my truck for about an hour. So I was up for almost 40 hours. So it was great training and I loved it, and it made me like kind of happy. Like, hey, I'm surviving this bullshit weather, because trust me, this is the worst weather I've ever had to run in here in Houston since moving down here. So I'm pretty excited about that. It was fun. I had a blast with my friends. Ran with a pregnant lady that is having twins, so was able to be with someone my pace. It was great. All it took for her was to get knocked up with twins. So, but yeah, it was fantastic, and that's Kathleen who we're referring to. But yeah, that's my can't let it go. And then Regina was out at Summit. We'll have her talk about her experience later on. But yeah, so Stephanie, what about you?
So, first off, I'm back at work. Lola has been crazy. She finally settled down, but she's been in the bedroom all day. So that's just a whole nother, like, I haven't worked in 10 weeks. So that was an adjustment to be a functioning adult. But so that's the main thing going through my head. But I do want to do a shout out for Melissa, who we had on last week. She got third female in the solo division of oh my god,
Angel's
why am
Crest.
that took me a minute. Of Angel's Crest. So like I think that's so badass, and that was right after High Lonesome, within weeks of High Lonesome, and I think she's such a badass. And she did it solo and performed so well. So
Yeah, her
Addie was
first
there
time
and
doing that
cheering.
solo. I know there's a lot of mental health stuff she was talking about, but her first real solo race, and she did fantastic. So we're excited about her performance. But do you have another can't let it go, or is it one and done there?
Cool.
Oh, holy
Being
cow,
solo.
that's
Well, I have a
rare.
third one, but I was gonna save it for next week. It's a really good one, but I can wait.
It's up to you. I mean, I don't want to,
I'm
like, I already
saving
came
it.
at you once, and
I'm
we got.
saving it because I want to do a little a discussion on it.
Oh, okay, we'll save the discussion for later. So, Elliot, we'll end with you. Anything that you don't mind talking about that's been kind of occupying your brain this past week or so that's not running related? It can be running related, as you can tell. We have no lives. I'm still making music, but yeah. Anyways, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, I think my can't let it go would be revolved around volunteering. I had a really good summer volunteering, and it just kind of reinforced how much I like the community and all the people that you run into out at these races. Like I know Stephanie, you were at Our Lady, I think, at Copper Kings, and I was at Homestake, so like right before you, and then I was at Conda after that for the rest of the night, and like I volunteered the entire time during that race and had a blast. And then I did my volunteering thing right before I went out to Summit, and like some of that stuff, just like getting to see people on the other side of the table. It's like it's better than running, you know. I get a lot out of it, and I wish I had more PTO so I could do both a bunch of traveling and volunteering and running, because I think eventually I'll probably hit that where I kind of want to have like a chill summer and not race and just go to a bunch of races that I like and volunteer rather than go out there and do it myself, because I don't know, none of these races happen without volunteers, and you really, I mean, if unless you are doing some volunteering, like you really don't have any acute appreciation for the type of stuff that volunteers have to go through. So I don't know, I guess I was thinking about that a lot. Like I thought about it a lot during summit because I just got done volunteering for like a day and a half, and then I was running into a bunch of volunteers while I ran for 3.5 days, and I'm like, yeah, these people are badass. Like they're doing something that's hard. And I don't know, you wouldn't think it's tough, but it is. Like it's a hard job, and it's good that there's there's people like us that are out there willing to do it. So yeah, that's my can't let it go.
It's awesome. Yeah, Stephanie's like the queen when it comes to volunteering and racing. Do all the things.
It goes with not having kids.
And well, you basically have 2 kids with that dog right now. Like it is
Oh my
just
God,
all up in you.
you can tell us
That's
to talk
ridiculous.
all day.
It's like both of you with your giant ass pets. The world's
Can I
largest
just
cat,
say that
and then
the last episode that we recorded, she was so cute, and I posted on my story how playful and sleeping she was. She has not slept. Like when I'm on mute, she's like in the background barking at me to go run.
yeah, she wants to go do something. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's take a
she's
shit or
fired
go
up.
run. Yeah, something's going on there. But so it's perfect timing because we're going to end this episode. Elliott, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on Summit
Yes,
200
definitely. Thank you.
and everything
Thank
you've
you.
done and everything that you're about to do. Really appreciate it. And as always, on behalf of me, Stephanie, and Dylan, who could be in some legal problems once again, this is what you get, Dylan, for not really joining our podcasts anymore. But he'll be on again in the future. But stay safe out there, everyone. So yeah, thank you,
Mo
thank you,
knows.
Elliott. Mo knows. He always knows, and he probably knows
Hey,
you.
that's what I should be saying.
So-
I got him to sign up for a 100-miler.
Oh, well, we'll leave that at a cliffhanger. We'll talk about it next episode. Don't even say what 100
I need to
miler
add that
is.
to my can't let it go list. That's 2 things now.
Wow. So thank you all for listening once again as we march towards 200 episodes. And don't forget, we're doing giveaways for Folklore, and we'll be doing some. It's been a while, but we need to win for the race entry giveaways. So we'll be doing some of those here soon. Yeah, just we need to win, guys. Come on, help us out.
We already said we're going to pay for a female to go to Cruel Jewel, and that's an expensive race.
Yeah, I mean, well, just show up and finish, or don't finish. Just show up.
Start.
Yeah, just start. That's a good. Oh man, we have some hilarious stories as to what's been happening to our sponsored runners, but shout out to Rachel. She's killing it. Rachel Entrican. She's
Beast.
As always, we love helping her out. But anyways, that's
Hey,
it.
she commented on my Vermont post, and I felt like so cool.
You made it.
Wow, you
Yes.
made it. The person we had on our podcast who talked to you, but you didn't realize you made it until she commented on a post a month later. So,
That's when you know it's real.
yeah.
Okay, but
like
my
all-
pictures on Instagram aren't that good. So I thought it was pretty good because I would scroll past my shit too.
I'm going to end this episode before this gets worse for you, for any of us, really. So, your pictures are fine on Instagram. Nobody has good pictures on Instagram. Are you serious? It's all a lie. It's all a construct,
Hey,
man.
Okay, so for
Doesn't make sense.
the people that donated to my Vermont race, to the Vermont Adaptive, I made a card and I put of pictures from the race, and I put one where I was making like a mean mugging, like disgusting face, and then I put a picture of the popsicle that's the size of my torso, like with a popsicle in my mouth, and I mailed it to people that donated to my fundraiser.
Okay. So keep donating and you'll get real gems like that.
Oh, it's a good one. I have an extra
torso-sized
copy. I need it.
frozen food. So, all right, we're gonna bail out of here just in case it gets
Thank you for
deteriorates.
coming on. And
Thank
sharing.
you. And until next time, Mo knows, as Stephanie says. Thank you.
Happy endings.
Happy endings.
Happy end.